Ready to go?
It's on you.
Okay, everyone. Welcome to Centennial Park here for night 2 of the Sports Extra. You may recall last night we were inundated with music so much that the place was shaking. Well, tonight, due to the cold weather, basically it's just us and the crew here.
It's cold.
So really,
it's cold.
There are no excuses. And now that we're inside, we were originally going to shoot this outside. I'm here with Alex Glaze from 11 Live Sports. We were originally going to shoot this outside, but unintentionally, I put out some whiny tweets. And next thing you know, here we are inside. So maybe I have that cachet, or maybe everyone just feels bad
I'm
for me.
going to warm this place up with some hot takes, because it's still kind of cold in here, because they don't have the heat pumping up. But, you know, it's better than outside. The wind's blowing and all that stuff. Look, I'm happy.
Yeah, now Alex referenced his hot takes. When him and I sit next to each other at work all the time, you should see the guy that you see on the air is just really happy, calm, really nice guy. The guy that I know that I sit next to at work every day is a guy who's yelling all the time, who's angry at sports all the time. So I figured tonight, let me be the host. Let me play the straight guy. I'll try not to be funny, or at least I'll not as funny as you. And then I'll set you up from some really good, scalding, hot takes, Alex Glaze style, because let's be honest, this might be the last night you have to actually do a lot of hot takes.
I'm going to let these takes off. And it's Super Bowl week. There's a lot of people coming to town. It's a busy week. It's a fun week for us. It's a lot of work, but you know it's a Super Bowl, man. It's fun. Let's talk about the Rams first.
Sure.
Todd Gurley, running back for Georgia, obviously, had a great career at UGA. He's gone on to do great things for the Rams. In the Super Bowl, after maybe underperforming for a couple of years, now he's living up to the standards.
I'm not going to blame Todd Gurley for having Jeff Fisher as his head coach.
Fair. But now he's doing great things. He's in the Super Bowl now, and he couldn't be happier.
Best program in America. It speaks for itself. You got guys all around this league, and great players. So, Georgia's done. Obviously, it's not Georgia, it's us, but they've done a great job of helping us get to the league.
All right, so Todd saying that Georgia's done a great job preparing him for the NFL. Bill Belichick giving Kirby Smart the ultimate recruiting pitch last night, just pretty much serving it up last night. All Kirby has to say now is, hey, we prepare guys for the NFL. What do you make of that? I think that Belichick comment last night carries a ton of weight, and it's going to do nothing but great things and help Kirby build the monster that he's already been building himself. You
know what I thought of originally? I thought of like somebody who wins an Oscar and then thanks their acting coach that they had at a very young age. That coach is now set for life. Like, yes, Bill Belichick never technically, Kirby Smart never worked for him technically, but at the same time, Kirby has been very similar to Sean McVay, where he talks to Bill Belichick regularly, texts, picks his brain about a lot of things, and then they obviously have the connection to Nick Saban. So, in one sense, it makes it sense that Bill Belichick's kind of taking care of his own, but at the same time, Kirby, with 2 starting tailbacks in the Super Bowl, first time in SEC history it's ever happened. Of course, you have time to brag about.
Kirby and all of his coaches are going to be working that text machine hard during that game, because it's not only Todd Gurley and Sony Michel. You have help me out here. You got there's so many different guys that are former UGA players that are in this game. You got David Andrews. You got I'm drawing a blank because I'm overloaded with all this information. But there's so many different Georgia players that will be playing.
I believe they said that Georgia and Rutgers are the leaders of people. Yeah, like I know that it's
Rutgers?
That's what I heard. Something like Rutgers.
Who played at Rutgers other than Mohamed Sanu?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mohamed Sanu is the only Rutgers football player.
To be honest, I didn't really break down the per school thing. I will say this, though. It works both ways. When I was growing up, there was this great story of when Bo Schembechler, he used to be the coach at Michigan, was recruiting Rick Meyer, who would end up going to Notre Dame. And they just happened to be watching Monday Night Football together. And Dan Dudorf, who was a Michigan guy, made the comment that no Michigan quarterback has ever thrown a touchdown on Monday Night Football. And Bo freezed for a second before pausing and said to Rick Meyer, I want you to be the first one. Kirby doesn't have to worry about that. Kirby just says, hey, look at the Super Bowl. Here we go. By the way, I want to play a game with you last night that we played. We had Sweet, Seat, or Sideline with Kirby Smart. For Sunday's game, assuming he's in the building,
he's in a
Sweet, Seat, or Sideline.
He's definitely not Sideline. Nobody's Sideline.
Okay.
Nobody's Sideline. Nobody. I think he's in a suite. I'm not going to put his name out there. Somebody said that Kirby is in a seat. There is no way Kirby Smart is among the people in a seat. Kirby, and not to say that the people are the same kind of people at the Super Bowl, but there's no way that Kirby's sitting his butt in a plastic seat at Mercedes-Benz Stadium ever. Ever.
We did not rehearse this bit at all.
Ever.
Dan the Man Matthews was in here last night, and he said seat. And I said, he's Kirby freaking
When's
Smart.
the last time Kirby
he's
sat
not
in a plastic
sitting
seat
with the,
when he wasn't at a high school game?
You're not sitting with
Even
the
then he's on the
unwashed
sideline.
masses at a Super Bowl.
No.
Okay? You're not. So absolutely.
He doesn't belong. He's in a suite for sure. Well, okay. Well, some producers in my ear now saying that McVay will be on. Well, who's going to be on the sideline, McQuaid? Sean McVay is going to be on the sidelines. He's trying to get me to. He's trying to get me to move. He's trying to keep. Look, because we get stuck.
This is the beauty of this show.
We can talk about
if
things
we
all
get
day.
stuck for a second, we actually can pause 2 seconds to wait for our producer to tell us something that we already knew, but 2 minutes later.
Yeah, but Sean McVay is going to be on the sidelines. He played right up here at Marist. We all know his story. The youngest coach in NFL history to lead his team to the Super Bowl. He's done incredible things with the Rams. Makes Jeff Fisher look like a fool.
You and I make Jeff Fisher look.
Jeff Fisher, this is the same Jared Goff that Jeff Fisher had, but it looks like a completely different guy.
Yes.
I can't say enough about this guy, and neither can anyone else. I mean, and here's what McVay had to say about returning to Atlanta and playing in the Super Bowl and dealing with all of the things that come with the Super Bowl and being in your hometown, friends, family, everyone blowing up your phone. He's turned his phone off. Hear from him.
Have things kind of slowed down just a little bit after all of you went through last night, and you can kind of get right on into the flow of things with the game just a few days away?
Looking around, not a chance. No, it really has. I think last night was great. You can kind of really appreciate the magnitude of this game, but getting up this morning, really we're trying to put the final touches on our game plan, and the players will really have the day off with the exception of the guys that you're getting ready to talk to here in a little bit. And then we'll really get into our normal rhythm on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday week of preparation. So feeling good where we're at. Very appreciative to be here. And we know we got a couple more days to get ourselves ready to peak at the right time.
Hey, Sean, by Todd Gurley's own admission, he was not himself in the NFC Championship game. What, if anything, are you doing through the course this week to keep tabs on where he's at mentally and physically?
Well, I think really, you see a guy that's mentally tough. I think Tom, what says as much about Todd as anything is the way that he handled it right after. You learn about people when they do go through, a little bit of adversity, and couldn't have been more proud and pleased with just the way that he handled that. Demonstrated, the mental toughness that we expect. You show me anybody that's great in anything that they do, I'll show you somebody that's persevered, demonstrated that mental toughness to overcome some obstacles and some adversity. And I think a large part of, specifically when you talk about last week's game, was a result of, some of the things in terms of the play selection. I got to do a much better job for Todd to get him opportunities to get going. Love the way that he responded, though, and fully expect him to be the Todd Gurley that we all know, and he's going to be a big part of this game.
Hey, Sean, how long did it take before CJ became kind of one of you guys, not just a replacement or a fill-in, but just, as big of a part of this team as anybody else who's been here all year?
That's a good question. I think the one thing that CJ did a great job, Omar, coming in right away, endearing himself to his teammates, where he was just about that work. He did a great job, in a short week, being able to digest the game plan. You can immediately see when you get around him. He's a really smart, cerebral player, has a great understanding of the big picture perspective, specifically from a running back spot. He's been in some systems that are similar, but what's great about our team is guys, welcome with open arms, put their arm around him, and once you're on this team, you're a part of it. And he's done a great job continuing to get to know his teammates. He's a likable guy. He's fun to be around, but I would say that happened immediately just based on the way that our leaders in that locker room are and how accepting they are of whoever it is. Once you're a part of this thing, you're in it with us.
Sean, it's a big moment, big stage for Jared in this young career, but what have you seen about his mental makeup that gives you confidence he can handle, and what do you do to try to help him stay grounded, not get too overwhelmed?
Yeah, Mike, the biggest thing with him is I think last week is a great representation of the mental toughness that he has. That atmosphere was as loud as I've ever been a part of. I know it was for him, and I thought the way that he handled it, just staying even-keeled, not being phased, has been exactly what we've kind of seen from him throughout in the 2 years that we've been together with him with our staff. And that was one of the things that when you look at Jared's just career trajectory, even going back to high school, college, and pro, this is a guy that's been able to be unfazed by some of the adversities that he's faced. whether that be in a game or over the course of a season. That's what you love. That's what you want for your quarterback to demonstrate. I think you do want to do a great job as a coaching staff finding a way to give him things that are, what he's most comfortable with and what he feels good about. That's our job as coaches every week. But in terms of the magnitude of the game, I don't really feel like, I think, you don't shy away from it, but I haven't really felt like any moment's too big for this guy.
Sure.
Yeah, really. I mean, if you really want to look at it, I think just at the end of the game, the 2 throws that he made to even get us in field goal position in the overtime period, where on the first play we're running a little keeper and he's got immediate edge pressure right to his left. He flips his hips and shoulders around and is able to deliver an unbelievable throw to Tyler Higbee, who makes a great catch, gets us a first down right away. And then on the second down play, it was a play that we had run earlier in the game. I probably came back to it too many times. Well, I did come back to it too many times, where Cam Jordan did an excellent job creating some penetration and Von Bell was right in his face. But to be able to get those balls off Josina and allow him to be able to get us under 60 yards for the field goal range, I thought was big. And then really, he just kind of stayed even-keeled. You're down 13, you can't really hear. We actually had some headset communication problems where his headset went out. We tested it in pregame. It went out right before we went out for that first series. But he just handled it like a vet, and really, he didn't allow the circumstances to dictate or elicit a different response from him, and he just kind of kept competing one play at a time. And there was some instances where if he couldn't hear me, we had some go-to play calls that he was able to get to, and he did a great job executing those as well as his teammates.
Sean, here.
Yeah, it's been great. And really, since I first started working with Wade, he's got a great way about himself where, as you guys can see, he's a lot more laid back than I am. I'm a little bit tighter, so it's good to be around somebody like that gives you a perspective where he comes in, he enjoys it every single day. And then I would think, especially with regards to his experience, the thing that's so refreshing about Wade is that he's always so willing to share, and he's got so many different things that he can draw on from all the success that he's had in this league. But it never feels like it's pushed on you. If you go to him and you seek out that advice, he's been so supportive to me. But to be able to have somebody else that you can truly lean on, and we got a handful of coaches like that just based on the inexperience that I do have, and you feel so fortunate to be surrounded with guys like Wade Phillips. But, you can't really you can't put into words how important he's been, how much you enjoy being around him. And, like the players say, he's just that OG.
Sean here. Sean.
Well, I think that there's a lot of people in this city that are very important to me and my family. There's probably a lot of people that are mad at me because I kind of just put the phone away. I've seen my parents, and that'll be really about it, and a couple close friends, because we are here. And I think the people that love and care about you the most, they know that we're here to try to do something special with the Rams. And it is special to be back in Atlanta because your parents can drive over to the hotel and see and spend a little bit of time. But we're about getting to work and continuing to try to finish up this game plan and have a great week of preparation. But I love this city. It's been great to me, and it's special to be back here.
There's an expression I'll never forget, wham naked. And the fact that he knew that play, it's absurd. The recall that McVay has just speaks to what a great presence, what a mind he has for the NFL. Let me say this, though. Let me ask you something. Obviously, he's doing very well. 2 years, incredible success with the Rams. He's prolific on offense. When he was a Redskins offense coordinator or quarterbacks coach or even a tight ends coach back in the days of Chris Cooley, the Redskins people that I know that are here in Atlanta, that work in that market, they all lament the fact that he is no longer their head coach because he was that prolific at the time. Yes, he's super young and all that stuff, but he's just been an amazing presence. What do you attribute his success to?
His ability to connect with people. I think that's something that it's obvious maybe to some people if you're looking at it, but maybe not to the people that think that they can hire from the Sean McVay tree, because not everyone can connect with people the way that Sean McVay does. Everyone wants the next Sean McVay. You have people hiring Cliff Kingsbury out there. Cliff Kingsbury couldn't even win at Texas Tech with Pat Mahomes. Why is he getting an NFL job over some people that are we don't need to go down that road, but why is he getting an NFL job over people that have worked their whole careers to become assistants, to become coordinators, to have a shot at becoming a head coach? But then you have average Cliff Kingsbury coming in. Yeah, he looks good, but he's gonna be a big failure. He's gonna be a big failure in Arizona, and I don't think they care. I don't think they care, but we don't need to go down the road. Sean McVay connects with the people. His players respect him.
Yeah.
He is one of his players. If you'll notice, if we have video, I don't know if we do, when they got off the team plane, when they arrived here in Atlanta, they were all wearing those blue jumpsuits.
Yeah.
McVay, coaching staff, everyone was in the same blue jumpsuit. Everyone was, he's just one of the guys. And I think that mentality really, you really want to fight for a guy like that. I mean, you really do. You want to go to war and you want to win for a guy like that because he relates to you and he makes you feel like you guys have a connection. And I think it's a genuine connection.
Do you know who Sean McVay is? He is the young version of Bill Belichick. They've been around football their entire lives. They've dealt like Bill Belichick had his dad, Steve Belichick. He was around Navy football. Sean McVay, his grandfather, coach at the Giants. He was the general manager of the 49ers. He's been around everything. He's probably known all these coaches for the longest time.
Come on. That's a little bit of, you're being a little prisoner of the moment, aren't you? I
mean,
Bill Belichick's the best football coach ever. He's the best football coach ever. Bill Belichick's the best football coach ever.
Yes, Bill.
Okay, so
without a doubt,
to ever
Belichick
compare,
is the best.
That's
but
like
I'm
comparing
saying,
Zion Williamson to LeBron right now. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
You can't do it. It's way too early. McVay is having success right now. It's working for him right now. Let's just celebrate that. We don't need to compare him to Bill Belichick. He's not Bill Belichick. He's just not.
Okay, let me ask you this about him. McVay is smart enough to know what he doesn't know. So the day one that he was hired by the Rams, or maybe not day one, but day one, day two, whatever, he went to Wade Phillips and said, you can run the entire defense. I really don't care what you do. Just make sure you have them all running together.
Is
that how you want to do it?
The thing is, okay, I'm glad you brought up Wade Phillips because he's another coach that guys in the NFL relate to. Wade Phillips relates to his players. Aqib Talib loves Wade Phillips. Anyone who plays for Wade Phillips loves that guy. He's one of those people. I'm drawing a blank on the name right now. Just got hired.
You drew a blank on Sony Michel.
No, Bruce Arians.
Okay.
Another guy.
Okay.
Players love. Those kind of guys that connect on a deeper level than just football, those are the coaches. Maybe they're not having the success, but they have the respect of the locker room. And I think that's just as important. It just so happens that Sean McVay is an absolute freak genius and can, do all kinds of things offensively.
Okay, let's transition to opening night. You were there. We were here last night filming the show. We could hear live music, but we couldn't actually hear what was going on there. How would you describe the scene? I believe that was your first ever opening night.
It was my first opening night, and it's like nothing I've ever experienced. I don't even really know how to describe it.
Can you give me one anecdote that kind of best described how crazy it was?
Okay, you don't watch Game of Thrones, so
no,
I can't. For those of you out there that do watch Game of Thrones, though, I will compare it to Jon Snow. And I don't know if I can say this, in Battle of the you-know-what, when he's, taking on Ramsay Bolton, and, it's just the people just piling up, and you're just Jon Snow's like suffocating because he can't breathe because he's getting crushed by all the people, and slowly he just rises to the top. I felt like Jon Snow. I was just rising to the top because, that's just what it was. But, I was there. I asked all the Rams all the tough questions.
Hey, I want to go back to Maris real quick. What happens on Wham Naked?
Wham Naked. That was a play that, they were really over pursuing when we were playing Shaw, and hard run action fake. Chili Davis did an excellent job selling it and walked right in where, I think anybody could have made that play based on the sell that our offensive line and our backs had, and ended up, helping us win that game.
Man, what was it? Probably playing Little League Baseball or something. I started when I was 8 years old. I don't remember that game, no, unfortunately.
Oh, I don't race no more, bro. Yeah, them two got it. It was dope. Hat dope, jacket dope. It was good.
Okay, we have now said goodbye to nice Alex Glaze for the rest of the program.
Let's go.
We will now invoke angry Alex Glaze, and let's start off with a few prop bets, okay, Alex?
Well, why do I have to be angry when it comes to gambling?
Well, because you get excited,
okay.
And then excited turns to angry, and then you think of all the money you could be losing on some of these bets.
I'm a winner.
That's true. He does win a lot. Although gambling, entertainment purposes only, kids. Okay, let's start off with something really simple. To me, it is, but for you, not so much. We had a big disagreement at the work today. Gladys Knight, she is performing the national anthem. The over-under is 1 minute 50 seconds. When I asked you what you thought it would be, his initial reaction was 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
How do you explain that 3 minute and 10 second gap?
Well then, Gladys Knight doing the national anthem, how long is it going to be?
No, the average time.
She's going 5
minutes.
The
average time is 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Come on.
This is not Jose Feliciano. This is not a 5 minute thing here. You know?
She is going to sing that thing. Come on, Weldon. Let the people know. Hold on.
It's going to be about 7 minutes.
It's going to be about 7 minutes.
She's in her hometown. You know, she's on that midnight train.
She's going to take her time.
This is not a medley. It's the national anthem. You don't get to do other songs.
She's going to Aretha Franklin Thanksgiving in Detroit. That's what she's about to do. She's going to take her time.
Okay. I'm just saying right now.
Yes.
If this goes over 5 minutes.
Hold on. If it hits past 4:30, 4:30, what will you do?
Well, I can't repeat it on the air, but I can't say it on the air. I will say this: in college, I lost a very bad bet when Northwestern won 6 games. If they won 6 games in 1995, I had to run down a certain street in Michigan State naked, wham naked. And so I'm not going to do something like that. I'm older and not in that great shape anymore. That said, though, if we do have a 5 minute national anthem with no other medleys, I will do something on air for you. We'll figure out what it is.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
It'll be something degrading, I'm sure.
What's the next prop?
All right. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the roof being open, yes or no?
What's the temperature supposed to be?
Well,
anybody?
I think
let me look that up.
Sunday temperature, 11 Live, I think I had it at 61, 62 degrees on Sunday. That doesn't necessarily mean we'll have that high. So let's say lower 50s.
Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
Lower
If it is over 45 degrees, that thing's open.
No.
That thing is open. No. It is open.
Why do they want this? Why do they want this? No.
Wants that roof open so bad. You know it. They want the flyover.
I don't know.
They want all the aerial shots. They want the Goodyear blimp. They want everything. They want someone to parachute into the game. They want it all.
Well, okay.
They want it all.
So
I'm thinking
hold on.
It's going to be open. And open is the favorite right now.
I'm not a logistical expert here, but even if you have the roof open and you're jumping out of a plane, it's not exactly the easiest thing to get inside the stadium. It's not like the whole roof opens in the dome. It's just a little tiny part at the top.
That's why they're professionals.
Okay. I guess we've never had anyone die jumping from a parachute at a sporting event. So
if he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. Exactly, like Ivan Drago. Okay, moving on. Tony Romo, who has been the star of analyzing games. He seems to call everything.
Yeah.
He gets really excited. He's a lot like Blaze before he goes on the air.
Jim Nantz is the only one that hates
the over-under for Romo saying the words, "Here we go," 2.5 times. What's your answer?
Over.
I agree. He may say say "Here we go" about 3 times before the end of the first quarter.
In the first drive, because he's gonna try to predict everything. Listen, we're all watching the Super Bowl. It is the Tony Romo show, and I mean, I'll be in the press box, so I won't be able to hear it. And I don't have cable, so I can't record it. So.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. A little humble brag. I'll be at the game. Sorry, but so I don't have cable, so I won't be able to watch it. So, but I'm gonna listen. It's Tony's show. I can't wait to get on Twitter and just see all the things that Tony's gonna be doing. Because I mean, he's a star. He's a star.
I think the fact that you said you don't have cable in 2019 kind of supersedes you being cool enough to have a pass to get into the game.
Hold on, because I also want to say. While everyone wants the next Sean McVay, everyone wants the next Tony Romo. And I think if we learned anything, we learned that Jason Witten, you can't just hire anybody. You can't just pluck anyone off the field and just throw him in the booth.
The trainer at the Cowboys and say, okay, he'll be like Tony Romo. Okay, next one here. Very good one, interesting here. What will be a higher number? The number of Tom Brady touchdown passes or the number of President Trump tweets during the game?
Ooh, that's a good one. During the game or during the day?
During the game.
Oh, then it's gonna be Tom's touchdowns.
I agree. I think.
Hold on. McQuaid's in my ear saying it's for the whole day.
Oh, for the whole day.
So for the whole day, I'm gonna say what's the line at? What's the line?
Brady even and the tweets minus 140.
Bet the house on Brady. I think Trump will take the not the day off. He's gonna get some tweets off, but I think.
He's going to
Bet
congratulate
the house
the
at your
winner.
own risk. I'm sorry.
He's going to talk about the
don't come
game.
at me if you lose.
He has a pregame interview on another network, so we can't mention
So
it.
he's gonna tweet and say, "Watch this."
Yeah, he'll say
He's gonna
enjoy
tweet
whatever
and
he does.
respond
By the way, we had a problem last night. We could not say the words "the game that is really super." Well, we figured out a way around that. We're just now going to refer to it as the superb owl, using the exact same letters. Pretty cool. I like that.
I'll just say Super Bowl.
No,
Just say
we
Super Bowl.
can't say the bowl that's so
Super Bowl.
Superb owl. There we go. Okay, next one. Here we go. Woo-hoo, indeed.
Sorry, McQuaid.
Oh, wait, that's a pigeon, not an owl. My bad. We'll get to the sound effects next time. All right, the next one up here. What team scores first, Glaze? Pretty simple. Patriots minus 200, Rams plus 170.
Bet the house at your own risk. Patriots.
Okay.
End of story.
Yeah, it's really hard to debate that one. Here's the deal, though. The Patriots are notorious slow starters.
Hold on.
In the
You're
Super Bowl.
messing this up. That's the producer McQuaid's in my ear. You're messing this up. Will the team who scores first win the game is the question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That it is. All right. So here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna give you the play down right now. The coin toss happens. The Rams win the toss. They defer. No. They're gonna win. Because that's McVay. McVay is aggressive. They're gonna win the toss. I hope this is recording. This is gonna live on the internet forever.
It's for posterity, folks.
Rams are gonna win the toss, and they're gonna drive down the field and they're gonna score. I don't think the Rams win the game, so no.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are going to win. The Patriots are notorious slow starters. You may recall this is now Brady's 9th Super Bowl.
Will not be a slow
For
start.
the first 5, the game was decided each time by 3 points or less. And yet in the last 3, it's been between 4 and 8 points, that kind of stuff. So really close. We'll see how it turns out. All right, here's another prop bet. Whose age will be closer to the total points in the game? You know this is a McQuaid question here. Belichick at minus 400 or McVay at plus 250?
Belichick at minus 400?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so total points.
Yeah, whose age will be, I feel like a game show host, whose age will be closer to total points in the full game?
It's Belichick. 66. It's going to be up there. I don't think it's going to be that high, but it's going to be closer to 66 than it's 33.
Okay, the over, we addressed this last night. The over-under currently, like different Vegas sites, is around 56 to 56.5 points. The Super Bowl record for all-time points in the game is 75. Do we break that?
No.
I agree.
No,
There's
it's not gonna get to 75.
these defenses are too good. They may give up big plays. We're not going to have. I hate to disappoint you folks. We're not having a 54 to 51 game like we had Chiefs Rams back in week
that was
11,
great,
whatever that was.
it?
Oh, that was great. And if we do,
was that a
let
Monday
me
night?
just say,
Was that a
Monday
Monday
night game.
Oh yeah.
If we do get 54-51, we might as well just mic drop every Super Bowl after that because you won't be able to top it.
All right. What we got? We got any more?
I think we're.
Come on, we got it.
Well, I did have some. I have actually a column that's coming out pretty soon on 11live.com. We have a bunch of prop bets, 25 really cool
Where
ones.
Where can you find your article?
Since we talked about,
tell people where they can find it.
You can find it on 11live.com. Sports. I don't know if it's up yet, so I didn't want to hype it too much. But let's say,
why don't you work a little harder?
If we have a broken record of 75 points, Tom Brady will factor greatly into that. Okay.
Tom Brady already said there's a 0% chance he's done.
That's what he said Monday night?
That's what he said. Hold on, that's what he said. But you know who is going to retire? Gronk. Let's hear from him.
You know, he's a young man, and I said last night, whatever he ever wants to do in life, he's going to be great at because he has an infectious personality. He's he brings a lot of charisma, and he's just a great person.
Jay, what does Gronk add? Because it's funny. Everyone wants to say that Gronk's done. He looks like a broken version of himself. And to be quite honest with you, to me, he does. He doesn't look like himself. He doesn't look like the Rob Gronkowski
He's
that we used to.
still blocking really well.
He's blocking really well.
If your back is that bad, as someone I have a bad back, yet no one's asking me to move 300-pound linemen around. If you have a bad back, it seems to me the very last thing you would want to do is get in there with scrums and blocking well. So maybe we're just looking at like a little.
But when you talk,
listen,
I've been talking to these Rams players, and Aqib Talib last night said, "I don't know what you guys are watching," and he actually called out a reporter and said, "When's the last time you watched film? When's the last time you watched film?" Because Gronk is Gronk, and I don't know if Gronk is Gronk, but He's still a very effective tight end. He's obviously a respectable weapon, but you know, I think that he's got to be done after this year, right? He's just got to be.
Well,
win
here's
or
the
lose,
deal.
he's got to be done.
He's not even 30 years old yet. We would all kill to be in his position at 30. You're not
No,
30
he's
yet,
gonna be-
so I don't want to put you too far ahead yet.
He's going to be.
He could do TV. He could do movies. He could do commercials forever
well,
if he
he's
wanted
gonna
to.
be a star
he could
for
be a
sure.
pro wrestler.
He's
okay?
going to be a star.
Like
his body's so broken.
Would he be an evil
His
character
body's
or
so
a good character in
broken.
wrestling?
Good. Who would hate Gronk? You can't.
Would he be like Gronk, or would he like adapt
he
like
only
a?
knows how to be one thing, and that's Gronk. He has one mode, and it's Gronk.
Yeah, I mean, a part of me wants him to keep playing because I love using him
Because you're
for fantasy
selfish,
and
and
things
because
like
you're
that.
inconsiderate,
Yes, I'm a
and you don't
selfish
care
guy.
about his body, and you don't care about any of that.
I'm so selfish that we're filming this indoors instead of outside, okay? But at the same time, if you're 30 and you got your whole life ahead of you and you can still be a pro wrestler, it's not like he's retiring from physical activity. He's actually taking
retiring from
He's
putting
actually
his body-
taking a chance that his back will feel even worse.
He's retiring from putting himself through repeated car crashes every week.
Well, what do you call wrestling? Even if wrestling is fake, real, whatever you want to believe, it's fake. You're still getting suplexed from the top bunk. You're still falling in one of those cage matches where you have to fall to the center of the ring just to win it.
All right,
So,
well, Gronk has a lot of rings, and he's got a lot of them thanks to this guy that we're going to hear from right now, Tom Brady, who had a lot of great things to say about him, Julian Edelman, and the Patriots in general.
You know, no, I just can't believe this. Because it's, you know, there's no way to describe, you know, for me what my career's been. And I feel like I've just been in the moment so much. And every year just trying to get a little bit better. And to have the opportunity to play in this game, I think I just have more appreciation. Because the older you get, you know, the fewer chances you're going to have. And when I was a young player, you know, everything happened so quick. I didn't realize how much you struggle when you don't make it. Because, you know, I went to college and we won a lot in college, and went to 2 bowl games and we won. And then we got to the Patriots and I started playing and we were winning. So in some ways, I don't think you take it for granted, but you don't appreciate how challenging it is. And then we went a long time before winning again. And then when we beat Seattle, it was incredible. 10 years between championships and losing 2 Super Bowls in between. And then, you know, what's happened the last 4 years has been, you know, so much icing on the cake. And I've loved it. It's been different teams every year. We fought through different adversities every year. And we played great teams in the Super Bowl. Eagles were, you know, a great opponent. Atlanta was a great opponent. So was Seattle. And the Rams are, you know, as good as any team that we faced all year. So it's going to be a great game. You know, we're going to work hard to get everything out of the way, put all the distractions aside, focus on what we need to do to try to get us to play our best football, because that's what it's going to take. There's not going to be an easy play in this game. Wow.
Like a one-handed against Denver.
Yeah, that was a great catch. He had a couple catches. I mean, he's had so many big catches for us. I would say he just shows up at the biggest moments, you know. 2014, he catches the touchdown on KJ Wright. Then we beat him on a crossing route under pressure, but only Gronk makes that play with his length and speed. And then I threw him another kind of, called a deep stop route on KJ Wright again. So I've thrown a lot to him over the years. I think he's been so dependable, consistent, and it's great to see him enjoy. Last night, I was standing right next to him, and he was having a good time, which tells me a lot of good things. It means he's feeling good, and he's excited, and you know, I think we should all be happy about that.
Do you remember the first time you met him, and the impression he made, the size of his hands, whatever, and do you remember the first time you realized he was Gronk being Gronk? He was that kind of character?
I think, you know, when we drafted him, there was a big, like a mosh pit on stage, and I think everybody was excited to see that. I remember Wes being like, you know, dude, we got this guy. Like, this is the kind of attitude we need, you know, and you know, Gronk has cut it loose, and I think everyone appreciates him. He's one of the most You know, for as big and physical as he is, he's a gentle, you know, kind man. And he's an incredible football player.
He
So
understands the game more than people believe, like believe to. He has that personality, Gronk. But
yeah.
you talk X's and O's with him. He's a student of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a jokester to a degree, but he's also got a lot of pride in what he does. And he takes it very seriously. We ask him to do a lot of things, and I think it's impressive to be 270 pounds, to play basically every play, to win every matchup in the run game, you know, against 300-pound defensive ends, 240-pound defensive ends. We ask him to pass block. Then we ask him to run routes and win against linebackers, win against safeties, sometimes win against corners. I mean, he's a physical freak. And for him to excel the way that he has, you know, I think he's, you know, obviously him and Tony Gonzalez, to me, are the two greatest tight ends ever to play the game.
He's probably been hit harder than any player to play the game, too, because he's so hard to bring down. The knees are up high.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that, or how do you look at it when there's talk, and he talked about it after the Super Bowl last year, of possibly having to retire?
You know, he and I have not talked about that at all, and I don't think he's focused on it. I don't think any of us are focused on those types of things. So he's, you know, he's a young man, and I said last night, whatever he ever wants to do in life, he's going to be great at, because he has an infectious personality. He's, you know, he brings a lot of charisma, and he's just a great person.
That being said, I've heard a lot of NFL players say, when you think you're done, you can't play one more game, play one more year. I know you're not going anywhere, but
Yeah.
how do you make sure Gronk gets that message?
I mean, again, those things are up to him, and, you know, I haven't, you know, weighed in on that, and nor will I. I mean, these are all decisions every player has to make at the end of every season, because, you know, this is not a, you know, this isn't, it's a contact sport, you know, and it's very physical, and you gotta, you know, you just gotta be prepared for that mentally and physically. And Gronk's had just an incredible career, and, you know, I think everyone hopes he keeps doing it, but all these things are up to him, and the great part is he gets to decide. It's his choice.
And we are back for our final segment. It's so final that the crew is literally, they're counting down the seconds till we're out of here. Let's talk about Tom Brady.
Hold on, I want to just put my feet up. Because look, everyone's waiting for us to be done. So let's hang out for a little bit, Joe.
Okay, if we're going to talk about anything, let's talk about why Glaze only ties his shoes to the third notch. You're supposed to bring the laces all the way up. What the heck? What is this? You know? Hold on now. Yes, and I realize the guy with absolutely no fashion sense is calling out Glaze. I get the idea.
All right, I'm gonna break it down real quick for you. So I don't go up all the way on my boots, mainly because I'm not in the Army. So I'm not like about to like run or go anywhere. So it's like, you know, I could just.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just saying, like.
So you're saying you don't support the troops? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, you're about to. No, let me.
Okay. Do you want to keep going? Or
I don't even know what to say.
Okay, let's talk about Tom Brady here. Okay. Last night or the night before, talking to Bleacher Report, whatever it was, Rams cornerback Nickel Roby-Coleman, who was famous for the Saints game for the pass interference no call that was ever referred, he referred to Brady as too old, and he ran down some blueprint of how you got to, like, metaphorically stick the dagger in the back and you got to grind it and all that stuff. Forget about what he said about the knife and all that stuff. Is Tom Brady too old to win a Super Bowl?
No. He's not. Tom Brady, I don't know if you see all the videos on social media after, you know, these touchdowns and after these wins. Brady is trolling all of us. He, after they beat the Chiefs, after they had the game-winning touchdown, Edelman comes over to him. You're too old. You're too old.
Yeah.
Brady looks at him. You're too slow. You're too slow. He puts on his Instagram, Bad Boys for Life with him and Gronk after they get the W. It's just, he is trolling everybody. He feeds off all of this hate, and Brady's not too old. Brady's gonna get it done on Sunday.
If you didn't catch what we said last night, we got two really good fun facts to drop on you. When Roby-Coleman played for the Bills, 2013 to 2016, 4-year period, Brady was 6-1 against the Bills during that period, and the only loss was a utterly meaningless game for Week 17 where no one cared about. So in a sense, Brady was 6-0. And get this, of the last the number 1 and 2 passing games in a Super Bowl. Brady from last year, 505 yards against Philly? And if they had that Hail Mary, hold on. If they completed the Hail Mary at the end of the game last year, Brady would have broken the all-time passing record in the NFL for single game, regardless of when the game was played. That's how good he was. And then the year before that, against the Falcons, the only overtime game in superb Owl history, 466 yards passing.
All right, we got one more minute. We got one more minute here. We got to ask the important question now. One Super Bowl party you can get into, what's it going to be?
Well,
You got 1 minute.
I'm a dork, okay? So any party that lets me in, I'm coming in.
You're gonna say
okay? And which is why I don't go to Bourbon Street. The very last thing is you want to be that impressionable person that just aimlessly walks into a regular bar. Not so regular.
I'm going to go to Shaq's Funhouse. That's good.
Well, we all want to go to Shaq's Funhouse. I'm not cool, okay? There's no way I'm getting in there. No cool points for me.
All right, well, that's all the time we got tonight, Jay.
Yes.
Wrap this
Yeah,
up. Hold on, because I don't know if I'm doing the show with you again. Am I? Who you got?
Actually,
Who you got?
yes, but
Who you got?
no, it's
Put your
not
name
gonna
on it.
work out.
Who you got?
Patriots, definitely. 31 to 27.
Patriots, blowout.
Okay. Once again, we really appreciate you joining us. We will be back on tomorrow night. I have the night off.
You'll be.
So
I'm
I think,
not going to be on.
Yeah, old West Blankenship will be here.
Yeah, you get West Blankenship.
Not Wendy Battleship, old West Blankenship. He'll be here.
Would you call him Wendy?
But we'll be here all week, 8 to 9. It's going to get warmer. It's going to get better. This is the worst it's going to be all night. I mean, weather-wise, we could get worse. Who knows? Either way, we appreciate it very much. For Alex Glaze, I'm Jay Clemens. Have a good night.